This is the DeckTok Smart Permanent Outdoor Lighting. I'll talk to you about all of the specifics, but while we're looking at the front, this is 100 feet. They do have different measurements that you can get. So 50, 75, 100. I believe you can get 200 as well. I just want to make sure. Yeah, so they're LED. You install these on your own. They connect with Alexa, smart home. There's an app that you can control them 1 to 100% brightness. You've got holiday scenes, got all sorts of stuff like that. So again, some of the specifics, you've got anti-UV material. You got 55,000 hours for LED lighting. The degrees that it's going to be safe in is -22 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 3,600 lumens for all 100 feet. And then you've got 60 LED light heads. And then they're pretty easy to install. They've just got the right here that goes straight on either your eaves or the house. So I will probably, when I put this together, just do a fast forward stop motion, or not a fast stop motion, but go through really quick and then talk to you about the ease of the install, the lights, show you some designs at nighttime, what that looks like. We're probably not going to do our upper eaves. We'll just do the easiest one on the lower level to get that done. And then we'll jump in the box right now and show you what's in there. So one of the big reasons we were super excited about this, right, is you've got the cool white, the warm white, and then the red, green, blue, teal white. And you can control these with multiple apps, but this is something that we've been really excited about to install as we come up on Halloween, Christmas, other holidays like that. So pretty self-explanatory. You've got this quick start guide right here that has everything in the box. So you've got 4 24 by 6 foot light strips. You've got 1 power adapter. You've got 10 cables and buckle screws. You've got a control box. There's a user manual. You have 5 spare adhesive stickers, 1 remote control, and then 65 screws with the anchor. So just to give you some context of what I was explaining before, is we have a plug right here. So I don't need to run an extension cord down to the ground or down by my house. You may need to, and there's some extra just white cords that don't have lights on them. You could actually run them down a post, something similar color. And then anyway, we're gonna go across here all the way around. I'm gonna show you this. All the way down here, all the way around. So one of the things that I want to tell you about is that when you're putting up the lights, when you're taking off the 3M sticker, you want to be really careful. Is that you don't rip it off too fast, because it'll actually rip off the puff pieces of the double-sided sticker. So you want to go really slow when you rip off that paper. And then what you'll also see is I'm going around and doing the different pieces is on some of these eaves, I have the vents there. What I will do is I will actually try and put it on a different piece of the eave so that I can then use some other double-sided tape on if there's any gaps in the extra cord. And right here it goes pretty quick. You can see I'm just putting these up. And the other thing that I want to mention right here while we're doing this is that you want to make sure that your cord is flat. So when I say flat, you want to make sure that the light doesn't just rotate, 45 degrees or 90 degrees. So when you put it in, and then you can see that there's a little gap right here. This is where I put some of the double-sided tape just to hold up the cord. When you stand back and all the lights are finished, you can't tell the difference. It's really like, a maybe 2 inches, 3 inches, different things like that. The other part that I would highly recommend is that before you go on to the next strand of strings, you make sure that they're working. So you'll see that I plug them in to make sure that they're working before I get it all put up and they're not connected properly. So right up here, when you get to the end of the first line, so this is 25 feet, the connector to both sides is the same distance between the regular 2 lights. So you've got that distance between this light and this light, with the adapter going to the next light in this corner right here, and then coming down this eave right here, it's the same distance. And you can see what I was talking about earlier. We're gonna have a couple lights because it fell right on a gap. So I just make sure that I put it right on one of those, and then I just double-sided tape that right there. So the wire you can't really see, and at nighttime you can't really see these anyway because they just match. Anyway, so I'm gonna plug it in and just show you what this looks like just with this first strand. Okay, so we're still at dusk. It's still daytime here, but you can see they're blinking red, so they all work. I just wanted to make sure before I went to the next 3 strands what this was going to look like. So I haven't set them up with the app or downloaded anything like that. I'm gonna finish the rest of the house, get the app, show you what you can do with the app. By that time, hopefully it's nighttime, and I can come out and show you what this is going to look like on the house. We're pretty stoked. Our kids are excited, so let's jump into it. Okay, so we got them wrapped all the way around the front and then up on the eaves on the top. Took me about 45 minutes. I think it's so much easier once you get to basically flat ground. You're not dealing with bushes and shrubs and all that stuff. But I'm gonna jump into the app, get synced, and then show you what that looks like, the different controls, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we are in the main controls. I just want to show you can add this through Bluetooth. You can see that I have some other devices with the Tua app, but when I go to my smart lights, and I open them up, I have a color palette. So you can see right here that they're red. I can switch them over to green. And as I drag my finger across, they'll change to whatever. As soon as I let that go, if I want to just do white, again, I can change the temperature of white. So we just have these white lights right here that you can see. I can also change individual rows if I wanted to have it rotated. There's different scenes. And so as we go into scenery, we can do Flower Harbor. And you'll notice that this kind of just is going around the entire house. And I can do lotus flowers, and you can see here it'll go a bit light. We're still at dusk, it's not quite dark, but I wanted to show you this before we do that. So there's a ton of different things you can hear. Fireworks of the sea, you can see all of these different. You can do life ones, parties, trends, sports, festivals, Mother's Day, Father's Day, football day, Valentine's Day. You know, so as we change this, you can see this is a little bit more Valentine's. And then when you go in, you can actually change, you know, the speed of the individual pieces, and you can actually create your own scenes here. So I'll just save as, we're going to save this, and then it's a DIY one, do it yourself one. And you can see that this is a little bit slower. If I were to go back in and edit it again and speed this up to 100%, hit save, confirm, you'll notice those lights are actually going faster. So again, I'm going to go back to scenery and just go to Glacier Express here. If we wanted to connect to music, we could connect to music, and you'll see that those are kind of bouncing around here. And we turn this up, sensitivity. Obviously I don't have any music because I'm recording this on a different phone, but we'll go back. And again, this is where everything is here. So as we open this up, you can power these on, power these off, turn them on with the app. So I'm going to jump back in here and go to lotus flowers, and then go back to the power and show you. I can just turn these off, turn them back on. And this is all connected through Bluetooth or your Wi-Fi, depending on which you have is better connected. So again, these are all the scenes, and then we go over to the very end. This is kind of a countdown. So if you want to create different timers, you can create different timers of when these come on and when these come off. So one of the things that I was looking at is our porch lights are connected to the same DC outlet. So I may actually switch this to the other end where that's on a separate plug by itself. I think I knew that before when I did Christmas lights a couple years ago, but it's been a long time, so I couldn't remember. Anyway, so again, when we go to the brightness here, we can change these in any color that we have, whether it's white or you know, a different color. We can still change the brightness of that. So you can see I have it a little bit dimmer if I want to go all the way brightness. So this is going to be an overlay. So I'll actually just kind of put this up where the flag is and the light. But I'm going to give you my final thoughts after using it for a couple of days, and we'll show you what that looks like. Final thoughts on the DeckTok outdoor lights and the app and everything. So you've seen all the demonstration, everything like that. A couple things that I really liked. The install was super easy, including my home, right, where we had a bunch of bushes and different things. It took me less than 45 minutes. If you just have flat and you're just doing one level, it'd be about 30 minutes. Plenty of enough lights with the 4 strands. You get 100 feet. You'd think you're gonna need more. We actually had just a little bit extra, which was nice. And then I think the two ways to install, you can either screw them in if you have wood, or if you have aluminum for your basically eaves, you can just use the double-sided stick tape. They sent extras of everything. You can also get double-sided stick tape if you run out. The lighting controls are really easy in the app. We haven't gone through a winter here where we're at, so I'll basically do a follow-up in 6 months after we go through winter. But one thing that I forgot to mention at the very beginning is the IP67 waterproof. So you shouldn't see a lot of water up underneath those eaves, but fantastic so far. They look great. Again, appreciate you watching.